event, and it's been suggested that the town of Lunenburg provide $500 towards the event. So how would council like to proceed? Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Your Worship, I think, these are the kinds of unforeseen things that I anticipated anyways would come up during these very different times. I think we had something like $1,800 left in the budget or of the remainder of the 20,000 in grants. And so I think the funds are budgeted. And so I would move the $500. I don't know whether it's proportionate or not. And if it's not, maybe it should have been $550 or $350, but 500, if Mahone Bay will do it, I'm sure for 500 too. So I just move let's do the 500.
So Deputy Mayor is moving that that $500 be granted to the towards the students' graduation ceremony. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Bachmann is seconding. Is there discussion then on this? Yes, go ahead, Councillor Bachmann.
I've got no problem with supporting this because just everything's in such a funk now that I'm not sure how and why everything happens the way it does nowadays. My only thing is they mentioned a budget. I just didn't see what the budget was. So, $500 isn't a big amount of money. They said 5,000. Just curious as to what they were spending $5,000 on, that they needed $5,000 is my only concern. Proportionate, I think we're fine. I'm fine with the $500. Just would have liked to have seen what the $5,000 budget was.
And sorry, that may have been my fault. I'd gotten a sort of a stream and at one point the budget changed somewhat. So it didn't always get carried on from one iteration of the updates to another. But I can tell you in broad strokes, it was for music and videotaping and some lighting and some kind of decorating or staging for the event, with a couple of contractors put in place to do that, a DJ, those sorts of things. And it came out to about a cost of $5,000 to do that. Could also mention that the LCL, it had to be some organization or municipality had to serve as a host for an event like this because they're done outside of the responsibilities of the schools. Although they do like a diploma pickup ceremony or arrangement, this is more towards prom and graduation, other kind of things, ceremonies. So the LCLC is serving as the host for the event, and there are a lot of volunteers, particularly I think from Bridgewater Fire Department. They're being called in to ensure public health regulations are being adhered to as far as social distancing during the parade and that sort of thing. So they put a lot of time and effort and planning and coordinating into pulling this event off. And I'm sorry, I didn't have the, that it appears I didn't share the budget as it transpired. Yes, Council Mosier.
Thanks, Your Worship. Well, yeah, I guess I have the same sentiment. I guess under the circumstances, these, it's unfortunate for the class of 2020 to be where they are. I do feel bad for them, but I would sooner see us put money into a bursary, another bursary, or something like that would truly go to a student that resides in Lunenburg, as opposed to kind of putting it forward for a party. And I didn't really see much in that budget that warrants $5,000, but it's whatever, right? It's just the times we're in.
Just trying to find that while we're talking, if I can. But any other thoughts on this? And perhaps I could ask Ms. Dagley, would it come from our grant budget? I know you had suggested that this was doable when I'd spoken to you previously.
Certainly, I think it can, your worship. It doesn't fit the true definition of some of those things, but council has the discretion for those items.
Right. So it would fall outside of our policy for, when we've drafted the policy to try to govern this. So if you wanted to stick to the policy, it doesn't fit within that, but so I guess it depends. We could, Ms. Dagley did indicate that there may be other places in the budget under economic development or something else that we could pull
Either
it from.
or your other legislative expenses. It could come from there.
So it depended on I guess how concerned we were about adhering to our policy and this kind of unusual request, or if we just wanted to make sure they got the funds and it's a convenient place to take it from is our grant money, which has been budgeted for. And we do have that discretion, as Ms. Dagley points out. Yes, Councillor Croft?
I agree with what they're doing, but as usual and as typical, I won't be voting in favor of it because I'm against the grant, so thank you.
So I'm not sure you agree with what they're doing, but sorry, it broke up a little bit.
I agree with what they're doing, but I'll be voting against it because I'm not in favor of grants.
So would it, to the point Ms. Dagley was making, does it make a difference from which pot of, or from where in the budget the monies would come, Councillor Croft? No? Okay. Anyone else? No. Are we ready to take a vote and then do, and this is, I guess the vote is assuming, or as it stands now, based on the motion that was made, the monies would come from our grant money, and I'm not sure how much that leaves us with. Do you have that number by chance, Ms. Dagley, to share?
I don't know. I don't have the exact number, but it would leave you about $1,300, your worship.
Okay, so it was 18 around. So we would take it from that pot as the motion stands now, I believe. So are we ready for the question? Okay, all in favor of, oh, sorry, Councillor Bachmann, you're all.
I was just humming and hawing in my head about whether or not we should actually take it from there. We're breaking our, sort of going against our own policy, or I guess Ms. Dagley said it is within our discretion to take from that fund. So I guess as long as we're not setting ourselves up for something down the road that they said, oh, you did it this way, so you can do it again. I don't want to get in a policy kerfuffle, but if that's, certainly want to see it happen, just want to make sure we do it the best way possible.
Yeah.
I think it would fit within the educational banner, though, your worship. If you were of that mind, Seth, that this is part of assisting with educational costs.
Which is another section in the budget you're suggesting, like our?
No, it would be within the grants. She was just highlighting it that it could.
Oh, okay.
Education.
Exactly.
Okay. Got you. So not too far off policy then, if at all, really, I guess. Okay, so $500, the motion is to grant the request, and from our grants budget, which would still leave us on some amount there. So all in favor of the request? Opposed? Councillor Croft opposing. The motion still carries, and we will give the grads the finances they've asked from us toward their ceremony in later June, the 25th, I believe. And with our best wishes, I would say, for the next stages of their lives. So thank you all for that. Yes, Councillor Risser, you are.
I was jumping the gun on a motion to adjourn again.
No, I was expecting it. I hesitated. Moving to adjourn. Counselor Visser, is there a seconder for that? Counselor Croft, thank you very much. All in favor of adjourning? Motion is carried. Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much.